Top 5 things how to get out of silver. The fifth thing, build something that is meta, right? We want to build something that is meta. Like going these random ass items sometimes doesn't do anything but hurt you. Build the most optimized build that gets your champion into the best position to win. Because a lot of games, that's how it's going to be. A lot of games, you can impact the match. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times you can impact the match. Like I would say probably like, you know, a good 75% of matches you can impact somehow, some way. You can impact it, maybe closer to a win, possibly, you know, or all the way to a win, right? Hard carry, you know, but a lot of times you can push that pendulum over to the winning side. Number 4, how many times do I see people like giving up so early? I mean, having that mental toughness, you know, the mental toughness. I see all the time people throwing at lower elo. Yo, people throw leads all the time. You know, there can be a dragon throw, there can be a baron throw. You know, baron throw is the biggest one. That's so huge for you. 1500 gold plus the buff plus the major objective. That's a big deal. You know, just having that resilience to not blame your bottom, you know, your support or your ADC or your jungler. Paying attention to what you can do better. And then sometimes, hey, sometimes you're not gonna win. Sometimes the game is pretty much lost. Those are the times to practice mental fortitude, mental toughness, to fight through that shit. Realize that you're tilting and just get over it. Like, yo, you're still not that sweet. More than likely, you're pretty bad at the game. If you're anywhere from silver, gold, platinum, just realize it. There's still so much to learn. Even challenger players never settle because there's so much more to learn, so much things to do and practice on. At silver, only concentrate on yourself, and you can only concentrate the mind. Okay, number 3. So 5, definitely optimize item builds. 4, mental toughness. 3, mechanics. Definitely mechanics and just overall player control, for sure. I see a lot of when I was playing in that silver bracket, like just a lot of mechanics were just doing things wrong. Combos weren't done right. And the reason why you want to practice mechanics too is that way you can focus more on the macro plays of the game. That's the most important thing. Practice your player control, your mechanics, get into the practice tool. Start practicing your combos, doing this, that, and the third. Learn your champion, learn your combos. And then what if you're a jungler? Learn your jungle pathing. Practice that shit. Get faster and faster. Get into the practice tool. Clear your whole entire jungle. Then do it faster. Then do it better. You know, make sure you're kiting appropriately. Try to maximize your health and maximize your clear time. Like, that should be like clockwork. That way, when you get into the game, you're not really thinking about your mechanics. You're not really thinking about your clearing. You're not thinking about all that shit. Number 2, you're trading, for sure. I see a lot of matches where people give up the lane, don't abuse their lead, don't know when to take damage, when not to take damage. You know, I see a lot of things like that. And that just doesn't include in the laning phase, right? That also includes trading objectives, trading a tower for dragon, trading dragon for, you know, baron, trading an inhibitor for baron, trading, you know, tier 2 and possibly inhibitor turret for baron. And the list goes on and on and on. Not just in laning phase, but also in the macro decisions that you play. So that's number 2, trading. But if you're a jungler, pathing appropriately. You know, not every single, practice a whole week of invading. Practice a whole week of starting at their enemy blue or enemy red. You know, practice that every day and then figure out what works, what doesn't. You're gonna lose, you're gonna win, but you're gonna learn and you're gonna push yourself to be a better jungler and a better laner. So sometimes recognizing when to trade with what, you know, if you're playing bot lane, you know, with what supports can you trade better with whom you cannot, you know, when you can play passive, when you can do a lot of things. And that just comes with a lot of trading back and forth and see what works out and trying to get ahead in that. And then my number 1 thing that I see a lot of, you know, especially when I was going through match histories, you know, profiles, 1 role, 1 champion. stick to that. The easiest way to climb is to stick to one champion and one role only. Just do that, point blank, period. Like, you know, so many times do I see like multiple champions being played on like their profile. It's like, why are you playing so many champions? Just stick to like 2 at most if you need to, but just stick with one until you're like in platinum. There's really no need whatsoever to play, you know, 10 champions. Oh, but you're really good. No, you're not. Yo, a one trick on whatever champion you think you're sweet at will show you a thing or two. You know what I mean? Like, and then stick to one role, because you're gonna see the nooks and crannies of that role. You're gonna see the nooks and crannies of that champion. You're gonna see what works, what doesn't. You're gonna learn your matchups better. You're gonna learn your itemization better. You're gonna learn so much more from that champion by just one tricking that champion, you know. And it's a great way to get better, to improve. And then also, you're not worried, once again, you're not worried about the actual player control. You're not worried about the mechanics. You're not worried about the clearing path. Just stick to good macro decisions. But you got to get there. You know, at silver, you're not there. You're just, I see a lot of people wanting to kill, just hunting down kills, chasing so much. Yo, stick to the objectives, stick to getting the towers, stick to getting the dragons. There's been so many games where it's like a fiesta. It's like, why? You know, stick to the objectives and lead your team. Hey, and a lot of the players at silver, they are going to be focused on kills. They are going to be super aggro and chase down. But one person can't change the game that one time, right? That one time where you are doing good, you can lead your team to a victory because you're directing them to that objective. And the reason why you can do that is because you're not worried about, you know, learning a role and how to move a champion. You're focused on macro decisions. So ultimately, those are my 5 things. Make sure you're optimizing the best builds and sticking to that optimized build. Then mental fortitude, mental toughness, you know, realize you're at tilt, mute everybody, and go on from there. Number 3, mechanics, player control. Okay. Number 2, trading, clearing jungle paths, you know, for the junglers out there. Number 1, just one role, one champion. And I promise a lot of the times you're gonna get better. You're just gonna get better, you know. And there's so many things that we can talk about too, you know. We can talk about like wave management. We can talk about making sure you have priority in your lanes, right? We can talk about, you know, having good map awareness. We can talk about sieging. What comps are good versus to siege with? What comps can you not siege against? I think also another thing, and I think it's a good point to make also, you know, this probably goes along with number 4, mental toughness, rank anxiety. I've had friends that just, they don't like to rank. They feel like, you know, they have to perform, they have to do well, you know. They don't like the toxicity of it, you know. They don't enjoy playing the game, and whatever reason it is in your head to not want to join rank, it is only your reason because you have some sort of anxiety towards it, right? Anxiety is just, you know, a doubt, a fear of a bad outcome. That's all it is. Whatever excuse you may have, that's just all it is. It's just an anxiety of it. And getting past that, and the only way you can get past that rank anxiety is only looking at yourself, only focusing on yourself. Turn off the ally chat, turn off the all chat, just focus on yourself. Because if you're focused on what they're telling you, or the criticism, or the flaming, or the griefing, like, all that's gonna do is bump up your anxiety, and it's gonna be useless for you. Turn off the chats, focus on yourself, realize that you're only trying to get better. You're only doing you as a person, right? And you are. Just the fact that you are trying to put effort, just the fact that you're trying to improve on your craft, like, puts you above so many people. I would even say like 90% of people. 90% of people. Think about it. Think about it. Think about the population. Half of the population are average. They're just average. The majority of people are in silver, gold. You know, just the simple fact that you are trying to get better and better and better and focus on your own play, focus on your mechanics, and focus on something puts you better than the average. Makes you above average. And that right there is not a C. That's a B. And if you want to really try, go for that A. And you're more than capable of doing that. You're more than capable of doing that, because you as a person, you can do it. You can get to that level where you want to be. You know, you can definitely do this. You just got to have a different train of thought. So practice these 5 things. I mean, there's so many things to practice, but if you're in silver, practice those 5 main things, and that's it. And just focus on one at a time. You know, once you start to have one champion, one role, hey, start thinking, get into the practice tool and practicing that laning phase, those combos, you know, CSing. You know, if you're a jungler, practice that clearing of the jungle, those different pathing, and then, you know, and then it goes down the ladder, right? You know, you one role, one champion, then you're getting better at trading, clearing your jungle, then you're getting your mechanics down better, you know, you're optimizing and being good, and then you're also refortifying that mental also. That's going to be so beneficial to a lot of silver players. Do these things and you're going to get out of silver. That's it for me. Make sure you hit subscribe, make sure you hit that like button. I'm going to be making more things like this, and you guys be good.